This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good evening all. My name is Idris, and today we're gonna be learning something on Numpy. Okay, so regarding the installation of the Numpy, you have the link in the description how to install Numpy. Okay, I'll be sharing with there. And if you want to register with us, okay, for more knowledge or for learn more courses, the link is in the description, and you can have it. And let's start with the NumPy. Okay, so what do you mean by NumPy, guys? Okay, first of all, how are you people? All good? You guys have any idea regarding NumPy? Any idea regarding the NumPy? What does is like, or what do you mean by about? Absolutely fine. Okay, good. That's great. Have you come across like NumPy anytime in your thing? Okay, so if you are using Linux software, okay, so you can install might be like this. Okay, so I'll just start it with the NumPy. Okay, NumPy. What's the date, guys, today? What's the date? What's the date? It's 5th, right? 5th December and 2020, right? 2020. And okay, so if you want to install NumPy, you can tell it as like if you are using Python 3, so you can use it pip 3. Okay, you can use it pip 3 and you just tell it as like install, just tell it as like install and you tell it as NumPy. Okay, done. Okay, so overall details you have it, how to install overall, and how to use the NumPy. Okay, so basically, as Ravina told, okay, Python-based library deals with the arrays, right? So basically, you don't have arrays in like in Python, right? So instead of that, like you'll be using what NumPy. Exactly right. It all deals with the arrays itself. It entirely, completely deals with the array or all the operations you have it. You can deal with that. Okay. What is this? NumPy is something called as, you can tell it as like numerical Python. Okay. NumPy is nothing but what? Numerical Python. You can tell about it. So you can write it as like numerical Python. Okay. It entirely deals with the numerical things, and NumPy stands for like numerical Python for it. Okay, now coming to here, before this, like why this NumPy and what is this and why we need this? Okay, these are all the things I'll be discussing with you. Okay, first of all, guys, okay, NumPy is a Python library used for working with an arrays. Exactly right. Okay, it's all about the arrays. Okay, so before watching this video, okay, I request you to watch one video. Okay, tomorrow I'll come into the class, maybe like before starting this. Okay, I request you to watch one video based on arrays. Okay, so if you have a complete idea regarding arrays, it will be like really good for you. So we have one video regarding the like arrays. If I tell us like YouTube, I'll go for here and give me a sec. I'll go for the YouTube, and I hope you have seen it, like majority of it. Like, but still, like you go, you have a glance, or maybe like like you have a look onto that programming concept. That will be like really great. So I'll go for the SkillBout, and what I do is like I'll go for the playlist, and where you can find it out. Okay, so you have something called as here C language. Okay, somewhere here you have it, something called a C language. Wait a second. Yeah, you have a folder called a C language. Where it is, where it is, where it is, where it is, where it is. It should be refreshed. Wait a second. Python, HTML, verbal, program logic, data structures, TCS. It should be somewhere here, guys. Wait a second. Where it is? Oh, I have changed the name. Nara. Like I had the playlist of it. Wait a second. There are like a lot of videos. You're supposed to have a playlist over here. Is it in programming? Wait a second. Okay.
Things are this A is nothing but 30 here, right? So now what I have.
Okay. Over there, yeah, it's coming. It's I guess internet issue. I have it. It's getting loaded. I guess so. Okay, and even in the TCS playlist also you have it. Or else you can just type it. Okay, so or else I'll tell you what you need to do it. Okay, so maybe like how to print the different patterns, prime, swapping, even, Armstrong, pointers, arrays. Look, this is the video which I was talking about, array in C, right? So this one you watch it, so that will be like really great for you. Okay, or else you can simply type something like this, guys. Okay, simply type, wait a second, you can simply type something like this, or else you can type it Mibweb. So I hope you will be getting that playlist. Okay, so if you type Mibweb over here, so I hope you will be getting this playlist. Okay, what happened to that playlist? It got deleted. I'm wondering now. Okay, I will just check it out. Okay, so I don't know. So it's supposed to pop up like at the first. C and data sets. Over here it is. Okay, so when you type Mibweb, you will get the first playlist, right? So you can go for here. Here over here you have it everything, right? Over here you have everything. So you can come here and you have it. Arrays. Where it is? Where it is? Where it is? Array in C program, ninth program, right? So ninth video. So you can go for it and you can have it. Okay, that is what I wanted to tell about it. That's it. Okay, so let's start it with the NumPy. Let's start with the NumPy. So if you are clear with the arrays, that will be like really good for you. Okay, you can think about it in that enormous way, right? So basically, you can take it down. NumPy in Python. NumPy is a Python library. NumPy is a Python library used for working with an arrays. Used for working with arrays. It also has functions for. It also has functions for working in domain of linear algebra, or Fourier transform, and matrix. Okay, so this is all the concept which actually deals with. Okay, so like linear algebra, Fourier transform, and matrix. Okay, so we'll be discussing on the day. Okay, so it created in the year called as 2005. Okay, this created in the year called as 2005. You can tell it. Okay, by a name called as Trevious Oliphant. Okay, this is the name. Okay, he created this one, this library. Okay, Trevious Oliphant. Okay, and NumPy stands for, as you know, that numerical Python. It stands for what? Numerical Python. So I will be discussing in the short. We'll be telling it has what? NumPy. Okay. What is the use of NumPy? Okay, what is the use of why we need this NumPy? That this everything we'll be discussing it. Okay, so basically I will tell you what it is. Okay, NumPy is nothing but, like you have other things, guys. In Python you have other things. Maybe like you can tell it as list. You have it. You have tuple, right? So maybe like in the alternative for the arrays, you have something called as list, but it is slower compared to the NumPy. Okay, when you want to deal with the thousands, lakhs, crores of data, this becomes very much slow for it. Okay, so whereas NumPy is 50 times faster than compared to all those things. Okay, just imagine 50 times faster means what is the efficiency you will be getting it, right? So just check it out. In Python we have list that serve the purpose of arrays, but they are slow in process. Okay, in Python we have list that lists that serve the purpose of array, but they are slow in the process. They are slow in the process. Numpy aims to provide an array object. Numpy aims to provide an array object that is up to 50 times faster, 50 times faster than the Python list. Okay, Numpy is 50 times faster than the compared to the Python list. Okay, in Numpy you have an object. Okay, that object is called as array object. Okay, array object is called as, okay, it is called as what? Array object. This array object is called as NDARRAY. इस word को ध्यान रखना जरूरी होता है आपको. This is the important word which you will come across. Okay, so in Numpy you have an object, array object. Okay, so what happens? This is called as ND array. Okay, ND array, n-dimensional array. You can tell it as like n-dimensional array, you can tell it. Okay, next one, take it on. Arrays are very frequently used in data science. Arrays are very frequently used in data science, where speed and resources are very important. Where speed and resources are very important. Where speed and resources are very important. Okay, now the question comes, why Numpy is faster? Vanisha. Okay, Vanisha. Fine. Okay, so you have a question called as like this: why is Numpy faster than, faster than list? Okay, why is Numpy faster than list? That is a question which you have. Take it down. Numpy arrays are stored at one contiguous place. Okay, there is something called as a contiguous memory allocation, right? So when we discuss about the arrays, it is actually stored in what? Contiguous memory allocation. When you have contiguous memory allocation, it is accessing that memory, right? It is very easy, right? I had given one example called as, like hostel, right? If your hostel was in the separate room, right? So your friend room is somewhere and your other friend room is in somewhere corner of the college, right? So it is very much, for a warden to access you guys, like it is very much difficult for them, right? So what they did is they did a contiguous memory allocation. They fitted everyone in one building, right? So that building is a good example for your arrays. Okay, you can take it down. Numpy array are stored at one contiguous place in a memory, unlike list. So Numpy arrays are stored at one contiguous place in a memory, unlike list. Okay, so process can access and manipulate them very efficiently. Okay, and this behavior is called locality. Okay, locality of reference. Okay, this behavior is called as what? Locality of reference in computer science. Okay, and this is the main reason why Numpy is faster than list. Okay, also it is optimized. Okay, to work with latest CPU architecture. Okay, with the latest CPU architecture. Then guys, right? So now more like the this is what the theory which I need to give it for you. Okay, now more like practical itself. Okay, so everything will deal with the arrays, with all the block diagrams. We'll be looking onto it, and we'll be accessing all the memories. Okay, so I'll be guiding you how to access this. and how we can do it. Even slicing also there in the NumPy. In the arrays, you have slicing also. Okay, so if you understand the block diagram, right, it will be like very much easy to understand this NumPy. Okay, for example, now I will go for the NumPy. Okay, so I'll open the IDLE. So basically, I'll be doing everything in IDLE. So just I want to show it. Okay, so if you know how to use it, that's more than enough for you. So to use NumPy, okay, so to use NumPy, I want to import it. So I'll just tell that like import NumPy. I can tell it as nu also I can use it, or else np I will use it. Okay, has a np I will tell it. So np as NumPy I will import it. Right. So import NumPy as np. Right. So now what is the thing I will be using it? So I'll be using something like this, guys. I'll be using like this. So I'll just tell us like np dot. I'll create an array. So I have an array method inside that. So I can have it. Okay. So you can pass the object. You can pass the data type. D type you can pass it. You can copy and you can order. Okay, those are all other things you have it. Right now we can pass an object here. First parameter we can look onto it. I'll be passing an object here. So what is the object? I'll pass it. I'll pass it normal list 1 2 3 4 5. Right, so 1 2 3 4 5 I'll pass it. Right, so I'll enter this. So what is it getting it? It is returning me the array object. It is returning me what? Array object. So what I'll do is I will store it in one variable. Okay, I'll store it in one variable. Okay, so I'll store it in one variable. Wait a second, guys. So it is getting okay, so that's fine. So I'll store it in one variable. All right, so this a has what? This is what the content is, and this is what the content you have it. Done. So if I tell it as like type of a, right, so if I tell it as like type of a, I'll enter this. It is nothing but what? Class NumPy nd array. Okay, what is that? Nd array. So take down this. So simple example, you take it down. Import NumPy as np, and I have done it array. I want to create it, so I have created the array by using a function. And what is the object is called as? It is object is called as what? Nd array. So wherever I have told you nd array, at that time I told you, right, like mark it out, because nd array I'll be using it more frequently. Nd array itself I'll be using more frequently. So much is done. Okay, why I started this? Because you guys already know like how the array is, right? You have already been with us by learning C language with the same person. You have learned Python with the same person. That's the reason I'm not touching on the topic. Got it? So I'm just going forward on this. Got it? Later when the main explanation part comes, at the time I'll be explaining in the depth. Got it? I hope here everyone are dealt with like one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, three-dimensional array, four-dimensional array, 5 6, right? In Python you can do up to 32 dimension array. Okay, how many dimension array? Remember this word. You can do up to 32 dimension. Okay, how many dimension? 32 dimension. You can write array inside a array inside a array inside a array inside a, like you can go on like doing like this. Okay, you can go on doing like this up to where? 32 dimension, up to 32 dimension. So we can look onto it how it is actually being stored over there. Okay, write on side heading called as creating a NumPy nd array object. How to create nd array object? So right now we have looked onto it, but again you write it down with a name side heading. Okay, create a NumPy n dimensional array object. Okay, NumPy is used to work with arrays. NumPy is used to work with arrays. NumPy is used to work with array, and array object in NumPy is called as what? Nd array. Nd array. Okay, we can create a NumPy nd array object by using we can create a NumPy nd array object by using array. Okay, array function, you can tell it by using this function. Okay, this is the function which you're gonna be using it. Okay, by using this array you can create what? NumPy array function. Done. Have a note to create an nd array. to create an ND array, we can pass inside this, we need to pass an object, right? We can pass list, we can pass tuple, or we can pass array itself, We can pass list, we can pass tuple, or else we can pass array itself like a object, into this function, and it will be converted to ND array, Okay, so you can write it down, for example, right? So you can tell it down np dot. So just for your understanding, that's it. Okay, you can write it like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is one thing, you will pass it. So again, you will pass it np is equals to np dot, just as like array. You can pass the tuple also, right? So I'll just 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll pass it tuple, right? I'll pass it tuple. So I'll enter this, you have it. And I can pass array itself. For example, how do I pass it array itself? So I have created the array here. I just set as like a here. So I can pass it where, what gets inside in parameter, what I can pass it? I can pass it a itself. Okay, I can pass it a itself. So it will become what? Array object. It will create what? Array object. Done? Done. Okay, so you can you pass anything taking in the form of list itself? Well, I didn't get your question, Sukesh. Please repeat your question. What is that? Please switch on your mic and you tell it. What is your question? What was your question?
So you have given tuple now, it has been converted into list itself, sir. See array of 1, 2, 3. It is in the list itself.
No, like it is not a list. I'm telling you, this is the array. Got it? So the shape is called as list itself, but it is an array. Got it? That is one thing you need to remember it. Got my point?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So even array is also defined in that same order, right? That thing you need to remember it. Okay? That's a good question you asked it. Okay, now look on this. Okay, can I have a heterogeneous of data over here? Okay, my question is, can I have a heterogeneous data? For example, I'll just tell it like MIB, I will tell it, right? Can I enter this? Yes, I can enter this, right? At that time, you will be having D type called as U of 21. Okay, Sukesh, you have done this one, U of 21. What do you mean by U of 21, Sukesh? Something with the universal unique code. Okay, so it is treated as what? Unique code. Okay, it will treat it as what? Unique code. Okay, so it will have like type of A. So type of A is nothing but NP array itself. It's a ND array itself. Okay, now come on here, guys. Okay, next heading you take it down. Next heading you take it down. Something called as dimension in arrays. Okay, dimension in arrays. So what is this dimension in arrays? Okay, from here the topic gonna be very much interesting. Okay, so everything is on the practical. Okay, so there are like new concepts which will be coming onto it. Just you think about the arrays and what all the operation you can perform on it, that things you will be doing it here. Okay, dimension in arrays, you can tell it. Okay, let's start with the zero dimension. Okay, let's start with the zero dimension. Okay, right now zero dimension arrays, or you can tell it as zero dimension array, or you can tell it as scalars, or you can tell it as what? Scalars. SCALARS, scalars. Okay, which are the elements in an array. Those are all the elements in an array. Okay, always this noted down. Each value, okay, whatever the value you are storing it, okay, whatever the value you are storing it, okay, each value in an array is a zero dimension array. Okay, whatever the value you are storing it, right? The array value is stored in the level of zero dimension itself. The value always stored in the what? Zero dimensional array. That's the reason zero arrays or a scalar are the elements in an array. For example, okay, so you have multi-dimensional. For example, you will take this array, right? So the values are always stored over here. the values are not stored here. The values are stored in where? 0 dimension itself. In the 0 dimension itself. So these things you need to know about it. Let's discuss about the block diagram later. So right now I don't want to confuse you on this. Okay, so right now you remember this one. So what do you mean by scalars? Okay, so 0 dimension arrays, or you can tell it as scalars, are the elements in an array. Okay, which are what? Elements in an array. Each value in an array is a 0 dimension array. Okay, each value is a 0 dimension array. You can take it as a simple example. You can take it as a simple example for 0 dimension array. You can tell it as like this. Okay, for example, you can tell it as what, like np dot array. So you are like 12, right? So this is the simple example which I can give it for you, right? So this is what your 0 dimension is. This is what the 0 dimension is. The value itself is called as what? Scalar thing. Okay, next one, write down 1 dimension array. Next one, write down 1 dimension array. Okay, your 1 dimension example is something like this. Okay, np dot array, I will tell it. So your 1 dimension is stored like this. Okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, right? So this is what, how the arrays are stored. This is how the arrays are stored. Okay, for example, can I do indexing, guys? Can I do indexing here? So I'll just tell us like a is equals to, I'll tell it, right? So can I tell it as a of 0 like this, a of 1, right, a of 2, right? Do you have negative indexing? Yes, of course you do have the negative indexing also, right? I'll just tell us like -1. So you have the negative indexing also, right? So for scalar array you take it down. So say for a single dimension array you take it down. So what you have written it here for a single dimension array, so something like this, guys, right? So what you have written it, you have written it something called as np dot arr ay, you have taken it, right? So and you have done it something like this, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, right? You can take it on the format of arrays. So you can write it like this, the arrays array diagram, you can draw it, and you can tell it as like this, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and you have 0 1 2 3. It is a contiguous memory allocation. Okay, -1 -2 -3 -4 -4, and this is called as array object, and this is called as what? Array object. And you have address here, and you have a name over here, right? That is what your 1 dimension. This is what the 1 dimension is. This is what your 1 dimension is. Done. Simple thing. So if you tell a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, you can access it, right? Now the little hurdle goes on. Okay, now the hurdle goes on. Okay, next one, write down 2 dimension array, 2D array, 2 dimension. Okay, write it down like this, write it down like this. An array that has 1 dimensional array has its element is called as 2D array. Okay, an array that has 1 dimensional arrays as its element is called as what? 2D array. Okay, for example, how do you write the 2D array? Okay, I will be telling you how you can write it. Okay, for example, what you do is, like, you can tell it as like a is equals to, you can tell it as np dot array, you will tell it array. So you'll open this function, inside this you'll open this block. Okay, inside this open this block, inside the block you'll be writing one more block. I'll tell us 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, I'll tell it, and you put a comma over here, and again you will tell us 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8, you will tell it, and this is called as your somewhere I missed it something. Okay, somewhere I missed something, guys. Wait a second, I have to do this. Okay, so if you tell it as like this, and this is called as your 2 dimension array. What is this? This is called as what? 2 dimension array. Array inside an array, right? So if you take down this, okay, if you take down this, I will just take down this, and I'll copy this, and I'll come here. Okay, so how do you write the block diagram for this, right? So how do you write the block diagram for this? Wait a second. So how do you write the block diagram for this? Understand this. I'm everything I'm writing a block diagram, then only I'm going forward for it. Okay, so what I'll do it, like, I will draw this one, same like your C language, what you have done it, same thing, array inside an array, I'll go for it. So inside this you have one more array. What is this array is called as what? What is this array is called as what? 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Today dimension is like element are in the 1 dimension. Elements are in the 1 dimension. Its elements are in the 1 dimension, right? 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8, and you have the index 0 1, you have it, and 0 1 2 3 you have it, 0 1 2 3 you have it, right? So here it is -1 -2 -3 and -4, right? If I tell us like -1, -2, I'll tell it as -3, and -4 I will tell it. Here also I'll tell it as -1, -2. Right, guys? If I tell it has, okay, if I tell it as a of -1 of -3, what's the output, you guys? What should be the output? What should be the output if this is the array? What should be the output, guys? -1, -3. What will be my output? What will be my output? -1, -3. Exactly right. The output will be what? -1 ku jaunga. This is what the -1 is. Here I will go for -3. This is what the output is, 6, right? So same thing I'll do it here. I'll come here and I'll tell us something like this. Okay, so I'll just tell us a of -1, -3. I will tell it, right? So if I enter this, I'll be getting what? Exactly this number, 6. So I'm getting it. So I know how to access this, right? Even with the negative indexing. So this concept I'll be dealing it really well. I'll be dealing it. Okay, so it just started now. Okay, it just started now. The 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, 4, 5, so on. I'll be going on to it, right? So I wanted to know how you can write up this. That's it. Okay. For example, one more example I will do it. One more example I will do it. I'll do it as a of. I'll just set it as like -2 of -4. Tell me what is the output of this one. Tell me what will be the output of this one. What will be the output of this one? -2 of -4. What is the output of this one? What is the output of this one? It is nothing but what? 1 itself, right? So it is nothing but what? 1 itself. So I'll go for here. So I'll just tell us like a of -2 of -4. I'll tell it, right? So when I write here, it might be confusing, right? So when you see the block diagram, right? When you see the block diagram, it will be like very much easy for you. -2, you will go for the -2, and you will go for the -4. Okay, even you can write it in the crisscross, right? So for example, you will tell it as a of -2 of, I'll just set it as like 3. Now you tell me, guys, what is the output of this one? What is the output of this one? -2 of 3. What is this -2 of 3 then? What is this -2 of 3? क्या होगा? क्या होगा? क्या होगा? क्या होगा? क्या होगा? What will happen? -2 of 3. I request everyone to have a look onto it. Okay, there are like 7 people over here, like 6 people, right? Just I want you to answer on this. What is this answer? So what is this? The -2 and -3. -2 and 3 is nothing but what? 4 itself, right? So -2. So I'll tell us like -2 and I'll tell us like 3. So if I tell this one, I'll be getting what? 4 as the output. So I hope you are clear with this, right? I hope you are clear with this. Now coming to this one, 3 dimension. You write it on 3 dimension, 3D array. You write it on 3 dimension. Write on 3 dimension. Okay, write on 3 dimension. Coming to your 3 dimension. What is the 3 dimension? An array has 2D array as its element is called as 3D array. Okay, an array has 2D array has its element is called as what? 3D array. Okay, so array in the outer array, and look onto this here, guys. In the outer array, your elements are stored in where? 2D array, 2 dimension. Okay, entire elements are stored in where? 2 dimension. Inside this 2 dimension, you have 1 dimension now, right? Inside this, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, you will put up a comma here and you will be having like this. Okay, so you will be telling this here as like 6, 7, 8, 9. You will tell it, right? So overall you have it like this. So inside this one, it is packed, right? Inside the 2D dimension, you are packed with this one. So this is the 0th index, right? This is the 0th index. Now what you will do it, you will put a one more comma and you will tell us one more thing. I'll tell us 11, 12. I'll tell it 11, 12. I will tell it. Is that okay? 11, 12. Same thing, I need to tell it something like this here also, right? Same thing, I want to tell it something here also. Okay, I'll just tell it like 13, 14. I'll tell it, right? So this things, everything I want to close it. Here to here, I want to close it, right? So this one, to whom I want to give it? I want to give out to a function called as array. I will tell as array. So this array function is in where, guys? This array function is in the np.array. This will return one object. I'll save it in which variable? I'll save it in a variable. So many arrays. Okay, so when you are dealing with dimension, you need to have an equal number of size. That is what I need to forget it. So I'll just tell it like 33. I'll just tell it like for 22. So here also I'll tell it as like 66, I'll tell as like 44, right? Comma, I'll enter this. So this is now perfect. So this is now what? 3-dimensional array, right? A array inside a array inside a array. This is just writing up the array, guys. This is just writing up the array, right? So your data is on the entire data is on the 2-dimension, right? Your entire data is on the 2-dimension. 3-dimension is just a cover up, entire cover up, and here you have what in like this is called as now 2-dimension. Inside this 2-dimension you have everything, right? This is one data, you have it here, one data you have it here, one data you have it, right? Here one data you have it. This is called as what? 0th index. This is entire data is called as what? 0th index, and this entire data is called as what? First index, right? So what I'll do it now, I'll copy this. Okay, so if I write the block diagram for this, it will be like very much easy for you, right? So what I'll do is coming to your 3-dimension, understand it, very much simple. For everything you can write the block diagram later, right? So how do I write the block diagram for this? Understand this. So what I do is I'll be dealing with one whole block. I'll be dealing with one whole block, right? So this is what it is. Okay, for this one till here to here I have drawn it. This is one block I have drawn it. Okay, now I want to draw for this one to this one till here, and this one to this here. I have two such blocks, so I'll just divide like this. I have done it 2 blocks. Okay, now what I need to do it, so this becomes what? 2 blocks, this one block, and this one block. Inside this also I wanted how many blocks? I wanted 2 blocks. I wanted how many blocks? I have 2 blocks. Inside this, how many blocks I have it? I have one more 2 blocks. Inside this also I have 2 more blocks, right? Inside this, how many blocks you have it? Inside this I have 4 blocks. Inside this, how many blocks you have it? 4 blocks. I don't have space over here, but still I'll manage it, right? Inside this, how many blocks you have it? 4 blocks you have it. Inside this also you have how many blocks? 4 blocks, right? Inside this also you have how many blocks? 4 blocks. So this is how the array is, right? So now what I do it, okay, what I need to do it, okay, so I'll be writing the value here. Here it is 1, here it is 2, here it is 3, here it is 4, here it is 6, here it is 7, here it is 8, here it is 9, right? Here it is 11, here it is 11, here it is 12, right? Here it is 33, here it is 22, right? So the block become very much small, right? 66, here it is 44, here it is 13, and here it is 14, right? This is what the block is. Okay, so for each block you have an indexing, guys, right? So for each block you have indexing. For example, 0 1 you have it here, also you have 0 1, and you have 0 1, and you have 0 1 2 3, you have 0 1 2 3, you have 0 1 2 3, you have 0 1 2 3. Same thing here also. Here you have -1 -2, you have it. Here also you have -1 -2, here you have -1 -2, you have it. Here also you have it -1 -2 -2 -3 and -4, you have it, right? So here also you have it -1 -2, okay, -3. So everything is all about the block diagram. Okay, if you understand the block diagram, you will understand everything over here. Okay, -2 you have it, you have -3 you have it, here you have -4. That's the reason I'm explaining it very much, having very much patience with me. Okay, I'll let us like -2, I'll have it -3, and I'll have it -4 for it. Okay, now tell me, guys, so this is the array now. For example, I want to access this 22. Tell me, how do I go for it? How do I go for it? Simple thing, right? A of 1 I will tell it, a of 1 I will tell it, and then I want to go for 0, and I will go for where? This is the index, right? 3, right? That is what I access. This one is nothing but what? 22. Same thing if I want to do it in the negative indexing, what I will do it? Okay, a of, first where I want to go it, I want to go for where? -1. So I'll go for -1, I'll go for -1. Then which is the index I want to go for it? I want to go for -2. And which is the index I want to go for it? I want to go for what? -1 again, right? And this will give me what? 22 itself. Okay, and this block are exactly same thing, right? So 103, right? So I'll come here, a of 103. So I'll tell as a of 1 0, I'll tell as like this, and I'll tell as 3 here. Enter this. So I'm getting 22. So if I tell as same thing, a of -1, I'll tell as -1. So something called as -2, I'll tell it, and then again I'll tell as -1, I'll tell it. Enter this. Same thing, I'm getting it. So these things I can write like this also: 1, 0, 3. Right? I'll enter this. I can also write it like this: 1, -1, -2, -1. It's a minus 1. I can write even this way. Okay, either I can write it in this way, or I can write it in this way or in this way. So all are one the same. All are one the same. So for 2-dimensional also you can write it like this. Yes, you can write it. Absolutely no problem. You can write it like that. Okay, take down this. So again, the 4D, 5D, 6D, it goes on so on. Okay, one assignment you take it on, like you will be doing tomorrow on 4D, 5D, and 6D with the negative indexing. This is like a bacha game for you. When you do programming in C language, this becomes very much low level programming, right? So once you deal in the C language, this becomes very much easy. S or no, guys? S or no? S or no? S or no? S or no? S, right? Yes, guys. This becomes very much silly for you. Okay, इसलिए बोलते हैं सी सबका बाप होता है, बाप होता है, right? Done with this? I want to show you the block diagram. You take down this block diagram. Okay, so same thing you can do it. Okay, neatly you need to represent it. Neatly you need to, not need write in neat as mine. Okay, mine is too much neat. Okay. Okay. Take it down. Next editing. Next editing. If you want, once you're done, you let me know about it. Just tell me like done. So that will be really great for me. Okay, take it on, guys. To check number of dimension. Okay, how to check number of dimension? How to check number of dimension? Okay, to check number of dimension, what I do is, like, I'll be using one thing called as what is that? I'll tell it as, like, I'll be using one attribute called as ndim, n dimension, ndim, or else you can tell us numerical dimension. This is called as what? Numerical dimension. Okay, numpy array provides ndim. In bracket you can write down numerical dimension attribute. It's an attribute, maybe like a member variable attribute that returns the integer, which returns the integer that tells how many dimension the array have. How many dimension the array have. Okay, it tells how many dimension the array have. Okay, for example, okay, we have created certain arrays over here, right? For this everything I'll give a name. Okay, for example, starting from the first 1 dimension, or else starting from the 0 dimension. Okay, so I'll come here and I'll tell it as, like, for this one I'll tell it as a equals to I'll tell it a equals to I'll tell it, right? And again for 1 dimension, where this 1 dimension, yeah, here I have written it, right? So here I will write it, I'll tell it as like b, I will tell it, right? So I'll come here and 2 dimensions somewhere over here, where it is, yeah, here it is, right? So for this one, what I'll do is I'll tell it as like c, I will tell it, right? c, I will tell it. What happened? Okay, same kind of error. Okay, so I need to close this and I'll tell us C. No problem with that. Okay, so I will tell us like this one. So this is nothing but 3-dimension array, right? So after 2 it is 3 only, right? Okay, yeah, 3 itself. So I'll come here, I'll tell us like D, right? Now you want to look onto this, guys. I'll tell us a dot n d n dim. Okay, I'll tell us n dim. So if I enter this, it is nothing but what? A is nothing but what? 0 dimension. You can see it here. A is nothing but what? 0 dimension. Again, I'll tell it a dot n dim to find out what is the dimension of it. Oh, it is nothing but b dot. Okay, b dot n dim. I will tell it b dot n dim. It is nothing but 1 dimension. C dot n dim. I will tell it n dim. I will tell it. What is this? C is nothing but what? 2 dimension. Same thing. I'll do it d dot n dim, n dimension. I'll tell it. So what is this? Like, it is a 3-dimension. This is a 3-dimension array. It will give you the dimension. Okay, this is very important. So to know what is my array is, okay, in which shape my array is, okay, and you know, like, we can even change the array size also, array dimension also, everything we can do it. Okay, that is called as resizing and redimension. That is everything. That is very much beautiful. You can literally change the dimension. Okay, I will tell you which are the types of dimension you can change it. Okay, write it down. Higher dimension array. Okay, write it down. Higher dimension array. How to convert this higher dimension array? Okay, for example, okay, so when you create the array, guys, okay, for example, I'll take this array, right? So inside this, you have one thing, guys. Okay, when I take this one, this line, okay, wait a sec. You have taken the heading called as higher dimension. Okay, I can create the new dimension also. I'll show you what is this. Okay, so they are telling that there is something called as enddim. Okay, so I can pass the object here. First parameter is object. I'll pass it object 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. I'll pass it comma. I'll just tell as enddim. I can even pass it end dimension. What is the dimension I wanted it? If I wanted 5 dimension, right? I'll enter this. What happened? Enddim is an invalid. Okay, nd dimension. Sorry. So it should be nd dimension, I guess. I don't know. Wait a second. nd dimension, you have it. Or else nd minimum. I guess this one is nd min. Okay, so if I access this, I'll get this. Okay, so okay, wait a second. I'll just do that. Okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. I'll tell it. I'll tell as nd minimum. Okay, so what is the minimum of the dimension you wanted it? Okay, so numerical, maybe like numerical dimension minimum, right? So that is what it is. Okay, so if I enter this, yeah, it is created. I will tell it as 5. I have created how many dimension? 5 dimension array, right? So if I want to access this one, means I want to tell it as a of 0 comma 1 2 3 4, and I'll tell it as 1. So like this, I want to access that. Then only I'll be getting this value. Right? That is called as what? N dimension. Done. Okay, as array can have any number of dimension. When array is created, you can define the number of dimension by using which variable? nd min. Okay, don't get confused with like me. Don't get confused with ndim and nd min. Okay, this is what is this, like ndim? Okay, so this is all numerical dimension minimum, numerical dimension, and this is called as numerical dimension minimum. Okay, up to which, how many arrays you can create it? Okay, for example, up to how many things you can create it? If I will go for here, I'll tell us, can I create 10 arrays? Yes, I can create it 10, right? So 10 looks like this. Can I create it 20? Yes, I can create it 20, right? So if I tell it as 20, it is like this, right? Can I create it 30? Yes, I can create it 30 dimension area also, right? Look onto this. The 30 dimension area looks like this. Okay, can I create 40? Can I create 40, guys? Can I create 40? No, I will get a slap telling that write down this error, value error, n dimension bigger than allowable number of a dimension is np max dimension. Maximum dimension is 32, right? Up to how many arrays you can create it? Up to 32 dimension you can create it. In Python, how many dimension? 32 dimension. So this is the highest maximum array where you can create about it. Okay, take it on like this. Okay, you get the reason is this one. So they have fixed the size for npy maximum dimension is 32. Maximum dimension is what? 32. np maximum dimension is what? 32. Okay, guys, done? Guys, you have come across something called as what is that, like array indexing, right? So you know about the array indexing. For example, you will go here. This is what the array indexing is, right? So you have come across the array indexing, right? So I hope you are comfortable with this. All right, so if you are not comfortable on this, like, you can put down on the comments so I can go through it. Okay, I can make it one more video and I can give it for you. Is that okay? Okay, so right now I will stop it. That's more than enough for today. Okay, so this is what the array, sorry, introduction for your, like Numpy. Okay, and you have even data types also, guys. Okay, so like you have integer, boolean, unsigned integer, float, complex, time delta, object, string, unicode string, fixed check, right, and even void type, right? So those things you will have it. And tomorrow what I'm gonna do is I'll be doing something called as array slicing. Okay, you can do slicing in the arrays. Very much beautiful concept. Okay, entire slicing you can do it. Okay, so the slicing comes very much important, and I'll be doing it in the depth way. What is slicing? I will be tomorrow only with playing with the slicing. Got it? And again, you have one video, it will be in the description, the slicing also. If you don't know about the slicing, normal slicing, which you have dealt with strings and like tuple and list, right? You have to deal with the dictionary also, the slicing concept, right? If you don't know the slicing, you can check out the video, so which I have uploaded already. The link will be in the description. You can have it. It is only accessible by the links. Okay, you cannot type it and you can search for it. It is only accessible by the links. The link will be in the description. Okay, and thanks so much. It was really nice, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow same time at 8:30 p.m. And if you have any queries, please put on the comments.